Hi guys, today I want to discuss the Younger Dryas event, which happened almost 13,000 years ago. Scholars theorize a dramatic and devastating global-wide cataclysm occurred during this time, wiping out a previous highly advanced civilization. Did this really happen? Younger Dryas was a sudden cooling period between 12,800 to 11,600 years ago, when the Earth was coming out of its last glacial period. This event is very important because it happened right when humans supposedly made their big change from nomadic hunter-gatherers to sedentary societies, with towns, cities, and resulting civilizations. This crucial period had major lasting impacts on humanity. The cause of the Younger Dryas cooling event is controversial. I'm most interested in the cosmic impact hypothesis. This highly debatable theory claims Earth had a catastrophic encounter with a meteor or meteors 12,800 years ago. This catastrophe triggered an impact winter with the subsequent global cooling, which led to human cultural shifts and population declines. It contributed to the death of the mastodons, mammoths, and dire wolves, which is the Megafauna Extinction. This hypothesis is bolstered by recent scientific evidence. A 19-mile or 31-kilometer impact crater was found beneath the Hiawatha Glacier in Greenland and was dated to be 12,800 years old. In several continents, scientists found the following anomalies in the Younger Dryas sediment layers: ice core samples showing high levels of combustion aerosol, a layer of black mat caused by biomass burning, high-temperature melt glass nanodiamonds found in hundreds of sites, and a sudden spike of platinum level extending to South America and Africa. These are all very real signs of a big cosmic impact and are all dated to the same time frame. Moreover, the evidence points to a fragmented comet as opposed to a singular event. A single comet impact would likely not have caused such widely scattered materials like those discovered all over the world. A large fragmented comet with debris clusters is capable of causing thousands of airbursts within a span of minutes across continents. This likely ignited the widespread biomass burning found in the Younger Dryas layer. Some scholars hypothesize that this comet impact could have caused the demise of a previous highly advanced civilization. That sounds plausible since the Younger Dryas impact can be considered a global-level catastrophe. Speaking of a highly advanced civilization, the worldwide megalithic phenomenon could be proof of its existence. Most known enigmatic ancient megalithic sites are located in Eurasia, Africa, and South America. They include the Giza pyramids, Baalbeck, Machu Pichu, Sacsayhuaman, Puma Punku, Yangshan Quarry and Longyou caves. Some sites show amazing precision cuts. Others contain huge stone blocks over giant caves, which experts found very difficult to explain how they were constructed by ancient manual labor. Most megalithic structures lack accurate historical records. Stone is almost impossible to date. Were these sites created by workers using hand tools? What if these sites are remnants left from previous highly sophisticated civilizations? If such a civilization encountered a cataclysm that destroyed its technology while decimating its population, then it is possible that such a cataclysm would have returned any survivors to a Stone Age existence. Perhaps this Greenland comet impact can explain the disappearance of this lost civilization. We know another huge comet hit Earth around 65 million years ago, causing the Cretaceous Paleogene mass extinction, including non-avian dinosaurs. That particular asteroid slammed into a shallow sea in what is current-day Gulf of Mexico. Tsunamis, earthquakes, landslides, and major Earth-changing events followed. The collision released a huge dust and soot cloud that covered the planet, blocking out sunlight. It triggered enormous wildfires and global climate changes. This mass extinction paved the way for the rise of mammals, including humans. Was the fragmented comet that hit Greenland as devastating as the one that killed the dinosaurs? No. The impact crater that ended the dinosaur era was significantly larger and more extreme than the crater at Greenland. The Greenland comet caused a similar yet smaller scale episode of wildfires, climate change, and sun-blocking dust, which led to an impact winter. The impact from the dinosaur-ending comet killed 76% of all life on Earth at that time, while the lesser younger Dryas comet might have led to the Megafauna Extinction. Let's return to the topic of a previous advanced civilization. If a cataclysm occurred during the younger Dryas and set back a civilization to the Stone Age, then we would expect evidence of severe damage and a sudden major population decrease or population bottleneck. Did it happen after the younger Dryas comet impact? Not really. Here's a chart of the effective population size for the last 500,000 years, which was published in the 2016 scientific journal Nature. We see after the younger Dryas event, maybe some regional population declined, but overall, the population had no significant changes. A 2005 paper studying population in ancient Western Europe showed an exceptional population increase around 15,000 years ago, supposedly before farming was practiced, followed by a rapid decrease well before the younger Dryas event. It also noted signs of human migration between regions when climate altered. This was further supported by other scientific studies. A 2015 published report announced that European, Asian, and American populations experienced a bottleneck around 15 to 20,000 years ago, while the African population experienced a bottleneck of lower severity at the same time. These noticeable population bottlenecks happened before the younger Dryas impact. Also, in the Mesopotamia area, scientists actually found a rapid and continuous population growth between 13,000 to 11,000 years ago. From these scholarly reports, we can see there was no obvious global population decrease during younger Dryas. The comet impact seemed to vary among different areas. In North America, studies suggest a significant decline and reorganization in human population during the early centuries of the younger Dryas, varying in extent by region. Some proposed the younger Dryas caused the downfall of the Clovis people in North America. This is debatable. We know of the Clovis culture from their unique fluted spearheads and arrowheads. They hunted large animals like mammoths. The end of the Clovis age came about 12,800 years ago, around the same time of the possible cosmic impact. Archaeological sites that were heavily utilized before, such as stone quarries in southeastern United States, appear to have been largely abandoned, and there was a substantial decline in the numbers of stone tools, which indicates less human activity. Some researchers, however, argue that the Clovis people didn't simply vanish. It seems that climate change, as well as the disappearance of large animals, forced the Clovis people to adapt, move to other places, and invent new technologies in order to survive. Researchers say other post-Clovis cultures, like the ones discovered at Folsom in northern New Mexico, derive from the Clovis with the same fluted arrowheads. The natural disaster caused major destruction for Paleolithic people, but it didn't end their culture. So such a disaster shouldn't be devastating enough to destroy a highly sophisticated civilization which has better means to protect and insulate its population, thus preserving and recovering its technology. Even in the much colder time of the last ice age, scientists found that climatic conditions were not as harsh as often presented. During the last glacial maximum, the climatically suitable areas for humans covered at least 36% of Europe. Researchers studied the dynamics of human population in Europe. The correspondence between the population simulation and archaeological data suggests that population dynamics were indeed driven by major climate fluctuations, with population size sometimes reduced to 30% of the highest. I think, however, it might not necessarily mean that 70% of the population died. It could be that some groups migrated to warmer regions. After all, Europe is a portion of Eurasia, which also connects to Africa. When talking about the Ice Age, we usually picture an image of ice and snow-covered landscapes. Actually, this is not the case. At the coldest time, the last glacial maximum, the average surface temperature was about 6 degrees Celsius or 11 degrees Fahrenheit lower than today. That is a big difference for sure, but we are talking about the global average and not the regional average. Some regions may have been impacted less and some more severe, therefore much colder. Also, let's compare the temperature differentiation between New York and Florida. A New York winter is about 20 degrees Celsius or 40 degrees Fahrenheit colder than Florida. In the summer, the temperature difference is about 5 degrees Celsius or 8 degrees Fahrenheit. Does that mean New York is inhabitable during the winter? No. American native Indians lived in the Northeast America for thousands of years. There must have been many areas that were habitable for humans during the last ice age, as well as in the Younger Dryas. Since the Younger Dryas impact affected areas on different levels, is it possible that a regional highly advanced civilization was devastated because it was located in an area that got hit hard? The highly advanced civilization theory derives from the unexplainable huge stone megalithic sites. These amazing structures show impressive masonry ability that even with today's technology, we probably couldn't duplicate. They are the indicators or road signs of where a highly advanced lost civilization once existed. Here is a map of many such megalithic sites. These areas got destroyed by the Fragmented Comet 12,800 years ago. Let's compare the Megalithic Map with the recently updated Younger Dryas boundary map. We can see there's some overlap, but many megalithic sites are not within the areas that received the worst devastation. This means the cosmic impact shouldn't have completely ravished the lost civilization that built these sophisticated megalithic sites. Due to the different styles of these stone sites, we might be dealing with the possibility that multiple civilizations were involved. Moreover, the Younger Dryas global cooling event was not as chilling as the last glacial maximum. Humans survived the last glacial maximum. One can thus assume that they wouldn't have a problem surviving a lesser cooling event. Humans in the past have revealed themselves time after time to be highly resilient, likely more so than we currently believe. We're making new discoveries which change our perspectives of the past and in return the way we think about our distant ancestors. For example, in the 2019 issue of Science, researchers provided the first evidence that our African ancestors had settled for hundreds of years in high mountains during the last ice age 45,000 years ago. Previously, scientists believed people couldn't reside at high elevations during glacial times since it was an inhospitable region. This recent study reveals important information about humanity's potential to adapt physically, genetically, and culturally to harsh changing environmental conditions. Okay, So human population didn't jump significantly 12,800 years ago in the Younger Dryas cosmic impact. This is somewhat a surprise, since I expected it could be the explanation to the ending of a lost civilization. I believe there existed one or more advanced civilizations before ours. These ancient people were real creators of the mind-boggling megalithic structures. We need to keep searching for answers if we want to unravel this mystery. If you have any insights, please leave me a comment. If you like my video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I have a wide range of topics that I want to share with you. This is Curious Being. I'm Tina. Thanks for watching and see you next time.